Nistuff.
Hey, what's up? Today's date is March 19th, I think? I don't know. And today we're looking at some Transformers Sofubi figures. So for the uninitiated, Sofubi is basically a Japanese vinyl figure that's usually sold in a baggie with a header card. Not always, but, usually. They're usually hand-painted or like mask-painted pieces, and at their core, they're kind of just hand-pulled hollow vinyl pieces of art, which is also known as rotocast in some circles. And I mean, look at all the stuff I'm dumping on you right away in the video. You don't need to remember any of this. Just understand that these are not like the ideal versions of toys, right? They're like expressive. They're art pieces. But yeah, today we're looking at two Transformers Sofubi figures that I've had in my collection for quite a while. We're looking at Magenta Soundwave and Gray Galvatron. Hell yeah. Two of my favorite colorways for these specific guys, Like for real though, the world needs more Magenta Soundwaves and Gray Galvatrons, Make it happen. People who make things happen, make it happen, please. Do it for me. But yeah, just by looking at these two, you can probably tell the styles are pretty different. The Soundwave's mostly on model, but the Galvatron, like my gosh, look at him. He's a little worse for wear, right? Very hand-sculpted vibes coming off this guy right here. But each have their own charm, Each are good in their own right. But let's dive into Soundwave first. Here we go. So Magenta Soundwave is based on the Marvel UK comics, I think. I'm not sure, but it's when Soundwave still had like a normal humanoid face instead of like a visor thing. He's a little bit like Trapjaw in that regard, I guess. Once a brightly colored man, and now he's like a less brightly colored man with a different mouth, Colors are sick across the board on Soundwave. I love the metallics. I love the magenta, the yellows, the oranges, the reds. It's looking great, man. He's got arm articulation left and right. No real waist articulation. This molding line is just for like bringing two pieces together for manufacturing. And no head articulation either, Sofubi's usually here for vibes, not like extreme articulation or even basic articulation, I guess. I love all his tiny details though. Tiny shoulder arrows, little knee rectangles, shoulder blaster, Decepticon logo, crotch play button, battery packs on the back. It's pretty great. And speaking of the back and great, you'll notice that this is not so great. He's completely unpainted on the back, and this isn't always a case for Sofubi, but like in most cases, affordable street vinyl pieces will only have like one side of them painted because there's a card back and it's in a bag, so you can't really... Yeah. And it's not really that the Soundwave is on the cheaper side, but in this case, it was just the maker paying homage to those older, cheaper street vinyl figures. At least that's what I could tell from some research. But yeah, here he is with some other Soundwaves. Pretty nice, right? Here he is with some other Sofubi figures. Sick. And here he is with just some other stuff, Onto the Gray Galvatron one. Here we go. So he's much less on model than the Soundwave, as I've already said, but the vibes are still here. And this is going to shock some of you, I guess, but this thing's from 1987. Isn't that crazy? Where was Transformers in 1987 in America, Probably right after the movie, probably just like wave 2 of stuff, or not wave 2, but yeah. I mean, you guys know. I don't know anything, but the nerds out there will sound off on what was happening in 1987, in America. So yeah, but anyway, he's got all the staples of a Gray Galvatron, right? Purple arms, silver abs, red belt, silver knees, orange blaster, red chest bits, gray crown, Decepticon badge on the chest. It's all looking great. A little floopy, but great, This guy also suffers from the old half paint job trend, but unlike Soundwave, I kind of think this one was doing it in earnest instead of paying homage to the olden days since, he came out in the 80s. But yeah, the same articulation as the Magenta Soundwave, no waist, no legs, no head, just arms, one arm, two arm. And sometimes that's all you need, right? Here he is with some other figures. Nice. Here he is with some other Sofubi guys. Sick. And here he is with some other Gray Galvatrons, Awesome. Here they are together. Looking good. Do you guys have any Sofubi Transformers figures? I'll even, between you and me, I'll even accept some Funko Pops if you have them. Which technically are a vinyl of some kind, right? Or you know what? Do you guys remember those weird, like, kind of bigger chibi-style Transformers that were floating around GameStops for a while? They might have also been made by Funko, but what were those? That's real weird stuff, right? But yeah, that's it. That's another episode of the Little Guy Files in the Bank. Cut back next time for some little guys or some reasonably small guys, I guess. Hell yeah. But anyway, that's going to do it for now. Thanks for watching. Subscribe, leave a comment, Instagram Threads, or Blue Sky, whatever we're doing. You know what to do. And that's it. Goodbye.